Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, my dear brothers and sisters. Today I've got a little treat for you, a story that I delivered 24 years ago. And it inspired a lot of people, it gave them hope, and I want to share that with you inshallah. And the credit goes out to a great Sheikh who was one of those that I listened to in the 90s when I was about 15 years old. His name is Sheikh Saad And this story, the shaitan may come to you and say that I'm just making it up. However, wallahi, this story, I've confirmed it with people that were involved in it. And the story happens really in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, but I think it's going to connect to all of us inshallah. So here it goes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, I want to make an introduction to it. The story is all about repentance and hope. It's about Allah's forgiveness and mercy. It's about when you've hit rock bottom and you've done all the sins of the world, and it tells you, do not give up, for Allah forgives all sins. My dear brothers and sisters, the story begins with a particular Sheikh. I don't know the name of this particular Sheikh, but he lives in Riyadh and he was on a trip like the one we're on now. I think he went on a conference or a business in one of the neighboring countries to Saudi Arabia. Till today, I don't know which one it is, but apparently it had a place there where it was set up for the Western people to come in to enjoy their alcohol and all the other stuff, as you know. So the Sheikh, he says, I had some business to do there. And then after I finished my business, I managed to finish a day before my flight. And then I was extremely tired and exhausted. So I went looking for a place to stay. I didn't know this city. I didn't know what it was like. And I entered a hotel to hire a room. But in that hotel, all I saw was men and women indulging in lustful temptations, drinking wine, music and dancing. I had never seen something like this in my life. And one person who was in there happened to be a Muslim expatriate who was working there. And when he saw me, he said, "Ya Sheikh, please, this is not a place for you. I don't want to see a Sheikh who is a role model in this place." He said, "Where am I going to go? And I'm really tired." He said, "Ya Sheikh, you can stay here, but it's not a place for you." So the Sheikh says, I couldn't stay there, I left. I left and I found a park. And in that park there was a bench. So I decided to sleep on that bench, and I didn't care about anything else because I was extremely tired. And then close to about Fajr time, my flight was about to leave at Dhuhr a little bit later, and I decided that maybe I can find a cab, a taxi, or a car to take me to the airport. He said, I took a car to the airport, and in the airport there was a prayer room. I went to the prayer room and I prayed my Fajr, and usually they don't let people sleep inside the prayer rooms, but I was so exhausted that I couldn't help myself but go to sleep. He said, during my sleep time, nobody entered the prayer room. And then close to about 1 hour into my sleep, I wake up to the sound of a cry. I looked in front of me, and there was a young man, a man that was not more than about 25 years old, less than 30, a young man at the beginning of his life. He was praying and crying so badly. It's like a mother who had just lost her child, or like a person who had just lost something very dear to them, a loved one. He said, I've seen many people like that cry in their salat and everything in my life, so I didn't really pay much attention. I was too tired, so I went back to sleep. He says, close to about Dhuhr time, I wake up again. And it was the same young man who was praying. He came up to me and his eyes looked like he hadn't slept for 3 or 4 days. He looked really tired and hungry, and he was so distressed. He looked at me and with shock he said to me, "Ya Sheikh, هل تستطيع أن تنام? Are you really able to go to sleep? Are you able really to sleep?" He goes, "Yes, I'm really tired." He says, "Wallahi, I don't know how to sleep anymore, Ya Sheikh. I don't know how to sleep. I've been running around for 3 nights and 3 days. I can't sleep. I can't eat, I can't enjoy my life, and I don't want to go back home. He said, what's going on? He says, I'm from Riyadh and I just don't want to go back to my family. So the Sheikh says, Dhuhr time was really approaching and we decided to pray the Dhuhr. And I said to him, we'll speak after the Dhuhr time, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. He says, we prayed Dhuhr together, there's just him and I, and no one else joined us. And then after the Dhuhr, I sat with him, I had a couple of hours before I fly. I sat with him and he said to me, now in this story we're just going to use the name Ahmed.